I'll tell you what, how about I give you a maker backstory while I'm going on my morning walk, right? So my entire family were either makers or tradespeople of some sort. So I had a huge, advantage starting out. So starting with my granddad, who is the one that I really learned the most from, he was a carpenter. He did masonry work, plumbing, electrical, basically did everything to do with engineering a home from scratch. And he built many homes, including a local armory, a few other projects that were like around the neighborhood of where I grew up. Now, I grew up in Mississippi, for record. So the Jackson Armory that's in the middle of Jackson, Mississippi, right off Raymond Road, he had a hand in building that. He also worked for the post office, so I learned a lot about mathematics and design there. He was a ham radio operator, so I learned a lot of ham radio from him there. My grandmother was a really good decorator. She was a seamstress, and she worked in a boxing company, which is where she lost a lot of her hearing at. I learned a lot of my decorations and arts and stuff from her. From there, her sister, my aunt, is the one that taught me to crochet. This was back in like 94 or 95, by the way, so it was a long time ago. I had already started playing guitar. I started learning that in like 92 or 93. My granddad also did landscaping, so like anytime my grandmother would be like, I would love it if there was a flower bed around that tree, he would get out there and fucking do it. Sometimes I helped, sometimes I didn't. It depends on what it was and how old I was at the time. Anyway, so they had an only child, and their son, the one that ended up having me, was a electronics person, mechanic, did electronics, mechanics, general engineering, electrical, and stuff like that. His wife, or the other one that had me, basically was an entrepreneur, did their own business work from like power washing to house cleaning to whatever, and instilled a sense of work and schedule. My granddad's brothers were in the Navy, naval intelligence, and ended up being a cryptologist, one of them, and the other one did like software engineering. So I learned software engineering and cryptology. It's also where I got my physics background. So I'd spent a lot of time studying physics and like ham radio and radio waves, which progressed into audio engineering and audio waves. And you stack that with my family's engineering background, I learned electronic engineering, carpentry. I can do I can do electrical work. So I can build a home from scratch. I have built a home from scratch. As a matter of fact, my first home was from scratch. I had to leave it in Mississippi. All of this was before TikTok. So right before TikTok, actually, I've got pictures of the house that I built, but I wasn't doing video quite as I was now. If I had TikTok then, y'all would see an entire playlist dedicated to here's how you build a house. I hope to do that again now that I have the space to do it. I hope to be able to build another home and I could show you how I do it. Because of all these different things conglomerating together, I also have graphic design skills. So I do graphic designs, physics, musician work. My granddad was the one that bought me every instrument I've got, basically, with the exception of a few guitars. He hauled me all over the country to go to bluegrass festivals, country music festivals, walking horse shows, and basically just slather me in music and culture. So my entire life has been spent like steeping in maker stuff, steeping in STEAM, literally. For the S in STEAM is sciences, and I really like physics and biology and stuff like that. For T, or technology, I really love computer design, electronic design, software engineering, hardware engineering, and stuff like that. For electronics, I actually like audio engineering and creating instruments that have electronics in it, such as audio synthesizers, analog synthesizers specifically. For arts, I love graphic design, painting, sketching with a pencil. I love making maps. If you've ever seen any of my map videos, I love doing that. I love creating rugs, crochet projects, fucking a lot, especially if it's tactile, like clay. I love making things with polymer clay. When I was in my younger years, around 2005 to 2010, 2012, I did game design where I made my own little games. And because I also did graphic design, I did the graphics for it. And because I love making textures, I did the textures for it. So I was really contained, and then added in with my making music. I made the music for it. The only thing that I never really got the full hang of was maybe the structuring of a game. For mathematics, again, I know physics is like part of sciences, but it's also part of mathematics. I enjoy mathematics, such as calculus specifically, and studying equations. I also like to use math to like calculate waveforms and frequencies. So like I know how to build an antenna for a certain frequency. Let's say you want to listen to 101.7 megahertz, which in Mississippi is Y101. You would take C, which is the constant or the speed of light, or 299,792,458, divided by the frequency, which is 101.7 megahertz. The resulting answer is how long the antenna needs to be in meters. So you convert that to centimeters or inches. That actually gives you the electrical length. And so from there, if you want to, you can make a little spiral, or what's called a loaded coil, basically. That'd be why your car antenna has a twisty wire going up it instead of just a straight wire, because if it were the full length, it'd be way up here. So when you put all of the things together, you get me. And that's why I got pushed into making TikTok videos. Now this video is already 6.5 minutes long. I might post it everywhere, I might not. I don't even know if people care enough to know my backstory. But there's everything I could readily think of on my morning walk. If you want to know more about any specific thing, let me know. I don't mind sharing. I overshare a lot. In the meantime, y'all have a great day. Stay hydrated and clean as you go. And I'm going to walk back over to the house and get some water myself.